But all things you learn from. Like, I hate to say this, but I had never practiced with the headset in terms of like the button to talk to the quarterback. So there's like multiple times during the game I'm calling the play, but the headset's flipped up because I'm used to being a position coach. And then all of a sudden I'm pressing the wrong part of the button trying to talk to him. Like, it was a mess. Hopefully we'll get that cleaned up by next week. But just one of those days. It just all kind of fell into place.
Few moments later.
Number 7, ranked Penn State got smoked by a team with no head coach. James Franklin's excuse era is officially over. Let's talk about it. Have you ever watched a football game so bad that you start rethinking your entire fandom? That was Penn State versus UCLA at the Rose Bowl. UCLA, a team that literally fired its head coach 2 weeks ago, sent number 7 ranked Penn State home looking like they'd never seen a football before. The Bruins didn't just win, they dominated. They ran through, around, and over James Franklin's "we're building something special" fairy tale, like it was written in crayon. And the worst part? Penn State actually thought they were going to walk into LA and handle business. Nah, they got handled. James Franklin's favorite excuse just died. For years, James Franklin's defenders had one line ready: he only loses the big games. Well, guess what? You can't use that excuse anymore when you just got body slammed by an 0-4 team that fired their coach and was halfway through a rebuild. Franklin's whole career has been built on recruiting hype, elite slogans, and 9-win seasons that fool the analytics nerds. He's the guy who beats Purdue by 30 and acts like he's solved college football, then gets humbled by Michigan or Ohio State every November. But this time, it wasn't Michigan. It wasn't Ohio State. It was a UCLA team led by a dude who probably still had interim printed on his sideline pass. Number 7 ranked Penn State looked like a team, playing in a dream sequence. The offense was flatter than week-old soda. The defense looked like they had just met in the parking lot before kickoff. The tackling, straight up optional. By the second quarter, Franklin had that familiar, "I can't believe this is happening again" face. The same look you get when your Uber cancels for the 3rd time in the rain. UCLA ran the ball like Penn State's D-line was made of holograms. The Bruins' backup quarterback looked like he'd been waiting his whole life to embarrass a Big Ten defense on national TV. And Franklin gave him the perfect opportunity. And remember, this was in the Rose Bowl, UCLA's backyard. The crowd wasn't even full, but the sound of Penn State's implosion echoed all over Pasadena. $8.5 million a year for this? Let's do the math again because it's almost comedy at this point. James Franklin makes $8.5 million a year. That's millionaire money for participation trophy results. You're getting paid like Nick Saban, but coaching like someone who borrowed his playbook from a high school JV team. UCLA didn't even have a stable coaching staff, yet Franklin still managed to get out schemed by a man who probably hadn't unpacked his moving boxes yet. For $8.5 million a year, you should be delivering playoff appearances, not starring in America's Funniest Coaching Disasters. Here is the Postgame Excuse Generator Updated Edition. You already know what's coming. We just didn't execute. We had a great week of practice. Give UCLA credit. That's a great football team. No, it's not, James. They literally just fired their coach. You got beat by a program that had to Google how to prepare a game plan 2 weeks ago. The time for excuses is over. Penn State fans don't want post-game cliches. They want a defense that can tackle and an offense that can score before the 4th quarter. 2 weeks ago, Penn State fans were dreaming about the college football playoff. Now they're just praying for a Holiday Bowl invite. When UCLA's interim coach gave his post-game interview, even he looked stunned. Reporters asked how they managed to pull it off, and the man essentially said, "They just kept letting us score." Number 7, ranked Penn State wasn't just beaten, they were exposed. This wasn't a tough road game. This was a full-blown wake-up call that the Big Ten doesn't run the West Coast anymore. At least not when James Franklin's steering the ship. James Franklin's seat isn't just heating up, it's sizzling like fajitas at Chili's. You can't lose to a UCLA team that fired its coach and pretend you're still a national contender. You can't talk elite culture while your team's defense is out there auditioning for a blooper reel. And you definitely can't walk into the Rose Bowl, get cooked by a staff held together with duct tape, and act like it's business as usual. Franklin might be the only coach who can make an $8.5 million salary look like charity work. UCLA didn't just take his lunch money, they took his excuses too.